we step into the next level. Timeless game every day of the week. Could tell you how to level up your spirit and be success driven and mind strong. Get your finances right, get your grind on. You know there's power in the story. Tune in, this the valor of the true man. Success blueprint.
How's it going, y'all? We're back in the Success Blueprint. We had waited to do these episodes so you guys can get to know us. This time, I, the financial enabler, will be interviewing Mike, the Man of Valor. We're going to put it here on the spot. We have some good stuff. And obviously, it's going to be a two-part series because obviously 30 minutes of Mike is not going to be enough. So I'm going to assume, let's act like I don't know Mike. I've never met Mike. And that's how I'm going to go with it. So first of all, Mike, how are you today?
Man, I am phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. I know you asked great questions, so a little nervous, but just kidding. I'm in there. Doing great, bro.
So let's. I want to start with this. And by the way, I did exactly what you did. I put a little bit of thought of it, but not too much because I like going with the moment. So let's start with this. Tell me a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing, and I'm gonna add this question: your family's views on success.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, man, born in Illinois, right? To my parents who are still together. My dad, so once I was born, I think a year later, my dad joined the Army, right? I'll come from a small town, so small, there's no stoplight. It's only about 1.5 miles wide, 3 miles long. There's no gas station, or there was no gas station at one point. There's only one grocery store, right? The family is just a small space, right? In Illinois, southern tip of Illinois. Man, my parents, I got two siblings. I'm the oldest of 3 as well, like you. My sister's in between. We're 2 years apart from there, right? Both of them joined the military too. When they called me when they get ready to join, I said, what branch should we join? I said, go Air Force, right? a little simpler. You can get, quality of life probably be a little bit better there. But none of that really matters. They're awesome. My siblings are awesome. Parents are still married, right? I don't have all my siblings are my siblings, right? Which is not common these days. I'm married since I was 18 months. So I'm 43. So we're married 42 years this year, which is awesome. And man, yeah, love God, love people. My dad was in the Army. So we traveled, went to Germany. So my sister was born in Germany. After that, we went to Bamberg. Not Bamberg. We were in Bamberg where she was born. We went to Tennessee where my brother was born at Fort Campbell. Right, Fort Campbell, and then back to Germany, and then Oklahoma. After that is where I pretty much grew up from 3rd grade on. My dad was a drill sergeant. He was a recruiter. He did all kind of stuff to stay in that place to keep his family, to keep us from having to move, which was super cool. Ended up getting out the military for like 9-10 months, which was crazy. And after he made the E7 list, by the way, right, he made the list first look. He would have been a sergeant major easily because he made sergeant major. He made E7 with all the sergeant majors that I know, right? He was on point. My dad was phenomenal soldier. Loved it. Field artillery guy, right? But was fire. And then God told him to got out the military, and then went back in the reserves and became AGR, Active Guard Reserves. And he did the rest of his time there. So, yeah. So I spent time doing that, man. And then high school, I thought I was going to college, right? I actually got approached by a warrant officer recruiter, street to seat, that's what we call them, to be a flight warrant right out of high school, me and my best friend both. And we're like, man, we're going to college. 6 months later, join the Army, right? Like insane. And I joined the Army. So I initially wanted to be an engineer, right? I wanted to be almost like an architect, but the engineer that draws out everything, make sure everything's structural, all of those things. So that stuff was always cool to me. But I didn't do it. One, because I was like, man, my degree is 5 years. If I'm in college, my sister's in college, and my brother's in college, that's a lot on my parents, right? So I'm like, I'll just join the military and I'll go to college that way. And I wanted to make money immediately. I hated not having money, right? Not necessarily that we were broke, but my dad always had 2 or 3 jobs. He in the military, side hustle, pastor, all of the things at the same time. So I was like, bro, I'm going to grind. So joined the military, and that's all she wrote, right?
Cool.
Yeah. So what does success look like to my family? And then come from a Christian background, grew up in church, right? All of that. I remember seeing my dad come to Christ, right? I remember my mom praying for him and was there when he came to Christ. Watching my parents pastor churches and, PK, also, other churches that they were part of on the staff. And teaching and all of those things. So super cool. Success in my family looks like loving God,
Mhm.
right? That first and foremost, taking care of your family and being a person of integrity, right? And having great character. That's really how my family is defined. Never about money. It's never about anything else outside of just, man, go work hard for what you got, do right by people, walk in your God given purpose, and love your family well. So yeah, super cool.
Love it. And so what did you end up doing in the army?
Man, so crazy is I joined the army to be a chef, right? Because I love food. I love to cook, right? I've loved it since I was 2, which is interesting if you ask my mom. I
Yeah.
would sit there and watch her cook at the age of 2 and try to help and just get to know. And so my whole life, I just love cooking, right? I enjoy it. It's a happy place for me. I love cooking for other people and seeing them enjoy the food even to today, right? So I joined to be a chef, but in high school, I did JROTC as well. And I got invited to a national leadership conference up in DC, right? So like I was the only person in all Oklahoma to get selected and went to that conference, and my small group leader was a Coast Guard intelligence officer. And he was telling us stories and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, that sounds so dope. I think I'm going to change because I did delayed entry program too.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'm going to change. And my dad was recruiting at the time. And I was like, Pops, man, I think I want to change my job and go Intel. He's like, yeah, why not? You qualify because on the ASVAB, I scored whatever, to do whatever job. Right. I could get any job I want. And they kind of made it difficult for me. And he was like, if you, he said, son, if they don't let you get the job you want, then join the Air Force. And I was like, okay. So he was like, they do this, they give senators kids who don't even score what you score, whatever jobs they want because they're senators. You qualify for the job. They just don't
Yeah.
want to give it to you. Just go join another branch. I was like, whatever you say. All right. So they was like, all right, we're not going to give you the bonus that's associated with it, but you can join, you can go there. I don't know why it hurt them at all. Like it was weird, but ended up going in Intel and not like traditional Intel, right? Nobody could even tell me what the job was. Like I was going to Pensacola, Florida for AIT. When I got to basic training, like, oh, where's your AIT? I'm like, Pensacola, Florida. Like, what are you going to be doing? I'm like, it was Intel. That's all I know. Like, what kind of Intel is that? Because all the other Intel guys were going to Fort Huachuca,
Yeah.
right? Or down to San Antonio to go to, well, not San Antonio, San Angelo, Texas to go do that. And so I was the only one, right? Which is crazy, but went down there. It was super cool. My class was, when I arrived, it was like 4 of us, right? It's insane. Yeah. Me and another young lady from that I found out was going there too. So yeah, man, did military intelligence and did that for a while. Ended up being a warrant officer in that. Was really good at the job. Didn't know how good at it I was. And then transitioned into cyber as well. Right. So I did some cybersecurity stuff, which was fun, right? Working with the 3-letter agencies and, stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when are you happy that you ended up being Intel instead of being a chef?
Wow. 100%. Right. 100%. The
Literally, we're probably like bottom of the barrel job in the military.
yeah. Yeah. It's
No
just tough.
offense to anybody that's a cook though. Like
No.
it's not a good job though.
Yeah, it's because most people that get it don't qualify for anything else. But I actually wanted to, so I was a chef, but I was going to be a dietitian specialist and go cook for people in
Oh,
hospitals, right?
no.
So I was going to cook healthier meals hey, what's their diet? Oh, they got diabetes. They can't have certain things. They got this. And so I was going to be that guy learning how to cook for those things. So it's not like traditional chef, right, in the military, but I was going to be a dietitian specialist to do it that way. So I don't have to go to 2 places, but yeah, super cool, super cool. But
Awesome.
I am glad I went Intel, right? Because that's where I met my wife, right? Obviously, which was super cool. But yeah, it's dope.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And where were you stationed in that time as in the army?
Yeah, so a couple of them. So my first duty station was tough. I had to go to Hawaii. Like, whew, so
Ugh,
hard,
God.
right? So hard. Such a hard life to live. But it was fun, right? Hawaii was a beautiful place. Went there, 19-year-old kid, trying to figure it out and, living out there. So that was cool. From Hawaii, I got stationed in Maryland. That's where I met my wife, up in the DC area. And then while in DC, I went to Australia for 9 months. Went to
Mm,
out in Alice Springs in the Outback, worked out there. Came back from there, back to Maryland, became a warrant officer, right? Went to Korea for a year, then another tough assignment. Back to Hawaii. Me and Candace went back to Hawaii, which was fun. My second time around, I knew all the stuff, a lot older. And from Hawaii, I deployed to Afghanistan, which was only 6 months. I know I say only 6 months, but we didn't get days off, right? We're the intel folks and we work literally 12-hour days. for 6 months straight every day. Right. And I was the senior guy in charge. So I worked 15-hour days. Right. I worked, a little more than everybody else just because, it was my team. I took a group of multi-service members over there to do intelligence for one of the brigades over there. And we ran the second shop pretty much. So that was cool, man, which was crazy story. Almost died literally there. Like I would have been the only guy to die, which is insane. Right. We had a B bid hit our fob. Right.
Nice.
And what was crazy is and it's the week that our replacements were flying in to go out, right? So I'm at the airfield. The main gate is like 50 meters from the airfield, right? And I'm sitting at the airfield. I'm like, man, when are these guys landed? And in my, I kept hearing like inside of me, like, go back. And I'm like, they're gonna be here any second. Like, why would I leave? That makes no sense, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, chilling. And go back. I just kept getting this journey, go back. And it's almost like somebody physically yelling at me, go back, like leave. And I'm like, okay. I get in my gator. It's a 1-minute drive. Just right around the corner, park the gator, walk into my building. As soon as I close the door, boom, V-bid goes off. Literally 50 meters from where I was. So I would have been only, and it leveled the chow hall, right? And it was during lunch, the dining facility leveled, like the ceiling caved in. Nobody passed away. But if I would have been where I would have been the only guy. It's crazy. And my N2IC at the time, because me and him, we used to go lunch every day together. And he was like, oh man, I was like, I'm gonna go early. I was like, I'm gonna go early. He's like, okay. I'll go a little bit later. And he went and he was getting ready. He was just got back from lunch when I was coming back from the thing. So it was insane. Guys came out and the hua guys is what I call them. All of you guys, the Raider kind of like dudes, they came out. 2 guys was just ping, ping, ping. These guys, they had suicide vests on. They had rocket launchers, throwing grenades, like all of that. And man, 2 minutes, they took care of everything was calm from there. Boy, it was crazy. A week before I'm leaving the place, right? So, at that time, and in case people don't know, when you first deploy, your first time in the place, you're wearing all your gear. You're like, after about a month, you're like, it is what it is, right? I'm chilling. I'm not wearing none of my gear. Never have nothing. Right. I just got my weapon. Obviously, we carry our weapons everywhere, but whatever. Nobody's tripping. So I'm a week out. Like, man, it's been a good deployment. Nothing happened. And boom, that happens. So literally, as soon as I close the door, shrapnel hits my door. Wow. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Bullets hitting the door. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh, shoot. So we started doing what we had to do. Started, the reporting and all of the stuff. And yeah. So and my daughter at the time, it just was about to turn 1. Right. So I had only seen her for the first like 4 or 5 months of her life. And I deployed, right? So insane.
Wow, that's a cool story. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And
Wow.
okay, so that was Afghanistan.
Yep. Go back to Hawaii.
Back to Hawaii.
Then to Georgia. That's where I got out of the military. Yeah, got out of the military.
Got out of Georgia. And I know, man, we will ask Candace another time. Candace was also in the military, right?
Yeah. She also deployed too. She went to Iraq in 2004. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you just mentioned your daughter. When were your kids born?
Yeah, so Shantae, actually, she just turned 15 yesterday, which is crazy. Nice. So June 10th of 2011, right? That's when she was born. And my son was born March 17th, 2016. So he's 10.
March 17, 2016.
Yeah, he's 10.
Okay, cool. And they were both, what states were they born?
So Shantae was born in Hawaii and Michael was born in Georgia.
Awesome. And so after you were in that time in the military, Candace was also in the military. Did you ever do what was your, outside of the military, what did you like doing? Was it mostly sports, hobbies? Did you have a job? Did you have any other activities? What did you do on the side?
Yeah, man. I am a big outdoors guy, sports guy. I love playing sports. My entire time, like I had chances to go play for the All Army basketball team. Right. Had a chance to go do that. Got invited twice, but I didn't do it because I'm like, oh, my career. At the time, I didn't know that it was only 4 months of the year. Right. So I'm like, dang it, I should have went. Right. So I had a chance to do that. I played a lot of sports, rode motorcycles. Right. I did that for a long time. Matter of fact, my dad and my brothers and I, every year for actually up into the last 2 years, we would go on a motorcycle ride, just the fellas. And just go ride for a weekend, which was super cool. Nothing crazy outside of that. Now I am a fun guy, right? So anything I'm down to try for the most part, right? So we play golf all of that, man. I'm a big church guy, right? So I'm big in that space. And what else do I do for fun? I love poker, right? I enjoy playing poker. I don't necessarily like to gamble, but I enjoy poker. That makes
Yeah.
sense. What else, man? Fun karaoke type of deal. We love to sing, right? And just go through those things. I am a people person, so anything where people are, I mean, except for when it's I live in Houston now. I don't go to the rodeo here because it's 200,000 people there every night. And I'm like, that's too many people, right? So I like people, but that's too many. My guard would be up the whole time. I wouldn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? So, but outside of that, family, fun, travel, man,
Mm.
stuff like that.
And I'm gonna ask this because it's a. Do you like going when you like going to rodeos? Did you like going to rodeo, black rodeo? Did it matter?
Yeah, so I've been to both, right? It's super. Both of them are cool. Now it
Okay.
was cool to see the black rodeo because it's not common to see us people
Yeah.
that look like me doing it. We took our son, and my son was like, "Oh wow, something else I can do," and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, we can do anything." You know what I mean? Like whatever you're passionate about,
Who would
there's
have
something.
thought?
Yeah,
Your people.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. So it doesn't matter, no, to me. However, to experience it, the
Yeah.
fact that there is such thing as a black rodeo tells me that you know it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But it was cool.
That's good. You, I'm just on side note with that for everybody. If you watch Cody Johnson, the like big country star, he attributes his story. Some of his best friends in rodeo were black guys, and they were like, no, really, really good. So it
Mhm.
just shows that there's like, there's something unique to those black rodeo riders. So it's cool. We got to go to that. Did you ever do rodeo?
No, I never did it. I never did it myself. I wish I would have. That would have been fun. Yeah.
I'm not scared of a lot of things, but a few thousand-pound bull or bronco, nah, that's not for me.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So you like that, all of that, and you mentioned church a few times. Were you ever in ministry?
Yeah, man. Yeah, not like I never had my own church or anything like that. So Candace and I were youth pastors while we were in Georgia. We were marriage pastors in Georgia as well, right? Would have been the youngest one of some of the youngest elders at that church. Like it's super cool, right? We love ministry, ordained ministers. Going to college, I went to a Bible college, right? All of that. I'm not necessarily a Bible thumper, if that makes sense in that way. I do love Jesus. And if you talk to me long enough, can't help but come out because that's what I know and love. But yeah, ministry is at the core of us for sure. Yeah.
What qualified you guys to be marriage pastors?
Other than our pastor saying, "Hey, we want y'all to do this," and we were only married like 7 years at the time, which is
Okay.
insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at a church where marriage is normal to be with somebody, oh man, how long you been married? 20, 30 years, 40 years, some
Oh,
50 years. Like, so we're like, what are you sure, sir? I think we should be in youth, right? Like, put us with the youth. He's like, no, marriage ministry for y'all. We're like, okay, whatever. And obviously he put us with another couple that had been married at least 20 years. And we kind of, led through that way. But yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. Some of the stuff we hear, right? It's like, hey, you guys coming to, we got this marriage thing going on. We got a retreat. Yeah, I've been married for 30 years. What you guys going to teach me? Okay, what are we asking you to teach? Like you don't even know, right? And at the same time, out of the same person's mouth, they're like, "Yeah, my husband's buying me flowers every year, and I don't even like them. He doesn't know I don't like them." And I'm like, "This is why you need marriage ministry, because you guys
yeah.
aren't communicating." So yeah, just stuff like that.
Do you
That's why.
guys do, now that you're not in the ministry, do you still do any marriage? I'm not going to say counseling support.
Yeah, yeah, we do some now. We'll help like couples that we know that are on like getting married or with things like that. So we do some stuff that way. We've done marriage counseling with folks. Sit down with them. We usually try to go 6 to 8 months and spend time with 'em, just sharing our story, right, and what's helped us and books and things like that, and helping people look at it in a different way. Right, look at marriage a holistic from a different view and ways, and try to give people tools that they can use. Right, not saying our marriage is perfect by no means. If there is a perfect marriage, it ain't nothing but between Christ and the church, right? But there's no perfect marriage, so we love to sit and help couples, not necessarily in the counseling, more like coaching, right?
Coaching.
On things that we do. And we're more coaching for communication things outside when if you're already married. Man, we're struggling here. Is it a communication thing? I think so. Perfect. We got some frameworks for that to help folks with that. So that right now is not something we charge for, right? We do it with people that ask us and they're willing to do the work. You know what I'm saying? If they're not willing to do the work, we don't want, and not, it's just not that we're wasting time. because I don't think that any seed sown is a waste of time. We just want it to be productive. You know
Sure.
what I mean? So yeah.
I get that. And so did you, now that you're post-military, what did you do after the military?
Yeah, a few things, man. Even while I was in, I didn't even tell you all of that, right? So was an MLM, right? So coffee for a minute. I didn't even like coffee, but it's it was one of the top things that people go to war over coffee. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's highly traded. So did that. Didn't make $1, to be honest. We didn't make money at all, but it was such an awesome environment. The people were great. I learned so much
Wow.
about life, about people, about me, about what sales really is, about how to communicate with folks, how to move people, like all of the things, right? It was really good for me, and I enjoyed every minute of it, to be honest. And would never badmouth that company, never badmouth that experience because it was awesome. Met some
Yeah.
great people, built some great relationships that way, and got introduced to personal development that way. It's when I got to see Bob Proctor live, right, in
Oh,
person.
wow.
Some people never get to meet him, and some other folks that I think Tony Robbins came to one of our events. Like, he was fire, right? Really good time to be able to be in that space. I don't know if you know who Eric Worre is. Eric Worre came. Yeah, so I got to meet all these guys. I'm like, man, Les Brown. I'm like, yo, this is fire, right? So, and getting around personal development and finding out who I could become, it was really good season for me and life for us at the time. So yeah, so I did that at post military. When I got out, because I got out the military very abruptly, right? And went and I automatically, like, I got a job offer to do the same stuff I did in the military, which is cool, right? Paying more than I was making, which is awesome too. However, because we had top secret security clearance, it takes a long time for that stuff to transfer. So I
Yeah.
got for the job in May. I didn't start till October. So what am I supposed to do in between then, right? So my dad was like, "Hey man, you got some skills with carpentry. I think you can build. You can do some stuff to make ends meet. To offset the bills. You know what I'm saying, on the way." So did that, man. Loved it actually, and was much better at it than I thought I was going to be, and got really good at it. All divine, all God, in my opinion. I didn't even know what I was doing. He's like, "Don't turn down any job." So I was like, "Okay, cool." And he said, "Call me after you do whatever. Take some measurements and just call me." So I called him. He'll walk me how to do it on the phone, not even looking. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Figure it out and just do it, bro. It was really fun. No YouTube, no nothing. Right. So that was fun. Did that for a couple years and then started a trucking company. Right.
Okay.
So I started to do hot shot trucking, which was a terrible mistake. Probably the biggest mistake I made. 100,000, not six-figure mistake in 3 months.
Wow.
Crazy. Bought a new truck, bought this 42-foot trailer, right? And just started, right? Just went after it. Insurance was like $1,200 a month just for that business. Like, gas. And then the truck that I bought, because here's how you did. I did not go to wise counsel. I bought a F-250, right? And the year I bought, they made the engine smaller. I mean, the gas tank smaller. So it's only getting 300 miles to the tank. And I'm pulling stuff. So every 300 miles or less, I'm filling up diesel on top of that. So I'm not getting anywhere. It was rough. And got into that, started doing it for a little bit. And Candace was still in the military and she had to go to school for 6 months. And we got little kids. So
Hmm.
guess what? Who has to be home? You can't be out on the road. So that business immediately in debt, right? Like, it's crazy. So back to doing carpentry, still doing that. I'm trying to making that work. And then it's like, man, and I was like, all right, Lord, I got to do something. And I went back to, not back, I went to, at the time, yeah, I got my job doing that while I was doing military intelligence stuff. And 6 months in, God told me to quit. Right? That's prior to the trucking company. And I'm like, what? I done made the most money I could right here. Like, this is insane. Why am I quitting? And so it was really good for me, right? At that time, hindsight is 2020. But I quit that. Was doing carpentry for 2 full years, started the trucking company. That didn't work out. And then I got put in for a job to go to go start writing, doing some reporting stuff for military intelligence. Picked up a job there, stayed there maybe a month. And my friend was like, hey, we're looking for instructors to do cybersecurity. I know you got that background. I'm like, what? Absolutely. Right. So she was like, let me get you an interview. Trust me, it's just a formality. You're in. I say, you're in, you're in. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started teaching cybersecurity to officers and senior enlisted people. So fun. Did that for like 2 years, 2.5 years, still doing some carpentry stuff on the side, and started Then transition from that, I actually went to be an Army civilian, right?
Oh,
Yeah, which is cool. And was there for like 10 months. It was an awesome opportunity. And because I didn't know this, there was no promotion in it. And I was like, what you mean I can't get promoted? He's like, yeah, the level you came in at is the level you'll stay. And I was like, whoa, I need to be able to move. They're like, yeah, nah, that's not this. Like, if you want a higher paying job, a better position, you got to apply for it. I'm like, there's no growth. Like, oh man. So I took like, I was making like 130 ish. I took a pay cut from 130 to $67,000 because I thought, hey, if I go get this government job, at least I'll have a chance to, over the years to grow and get to whatever,
yeah,
GS 15, whatever they are at the time. Got over there and they're like, yeah, no. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm making half the money I was making and I don't even get to move, like to progress that well. It's not
yeah,
going to work. So got another job offer like 6 months, 7 months later to go be a cyber trainer for TSA. Right. So I was like, what? And it was remote. It was right during, because all of this happened during COVID. Right.
yeah,
Went to the new job and all of that. So after COVID, I'm like, oh, perfect. Right, man, I'm making how much? Yeah, you're going to be making more. I'm like, more money, get to stay at home. I can't beat this.
yeah,
Right. So I started doing that and we did that cool transition from there. It was fun, but the company was trash in my opinion. The culture was terrible.
yeah.
Right. Just not a good culture at all. I mean, and then doing some consulting, like talking to my boy, to one of my friends, and he was like, man, I'm consulting now. I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. He was like, yeah, if there's a way in, I'll get you in. I'm like, shoot, I'm open. Right. As long as you can take these test certifications, it's got to be this. Start doing some research. I'm like, all right, bro, that sounds awesome. It's right up my alley because I love business anyway. So got that opportunity, came in and hired me on as a junior consultant, lowest paid position out there, but it was still making the same money I was making. I was actually doing TSA job and that one at the same time.
Okay.
Right. Kind of double dipping for like, I did that like for 4 or 5 months, whatever. Crazy part is left the TSA job. 2 months later, the consultant job dries up. Like they're like, hey, we hired too fast. They cut contracts. We're letting people go. It was like 40 of us. They let probably half the people go. They cut me down from 40 hours a week to 10 hours a week. Mind you, it just moved to Houston, Texas, bought our dream home. Right. So I'm like, no, right? I'm making this money. Like, how the heck I'm going to do this? Which is insane. And at that same time is when I got introduced to what we do now.
Got it.
I mean, that's why I've been here ever since. So
Two
insane.
questions because that was a lot.
Yeah.
So you did a MLM, and I'm assuming that you said a lot of good things. So MLM's pros and cons, obviously,
Yeah.
but is it true that all MLMs are bad? Is that true?
No, I don't think most of them, I think, have a great business model, right? They
Mhm.
got great environment. They got great ideas around who you can become. I don't, for me, it's more so about the product than it is about that business model in general.
So
Right.
what is it about MLMs that makes them bad?
In my opinion, it's just the bad, and I say bad in quotation marks. It's low profit margins. Yeah.
And people have to buy their stuff, if I recall.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to buy it. Yeah. So that's the
And
hard.
what made the trucking business so, besides the timing, what was bad about it?
Nothing really outside of it took me away from my family, which I love my family, right? I'm a family guy. If I can be with them every night, I will, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to be with my family. The next thing is not understanding that market, right? And how to get that and how to really build it and do it and all of those things. I didn't do nearly enough research, nor did I have anybody that was like that was doing it that can point me in the right direction. I didn't have enough connections there. I just started to do something like, oh, this should be fun. It's transportation, everybody needs it, which is true. I'm not saying it's a bad industry because it's definitely still around. It just didn't fit for me, right?
Got
And what God's plan for me.
Well, cool. And that makes sense. Now I have a clear picture of all up until this opportunity. I think next time I want to jump into like what you're doing now,
Hmm.
what it means to you, legacy, and all of that. So we'll wrap it up that next time. So, guys, again, we're just here. This is a chance to get to know us. We'll go back to the juicy stuff, but we got to put it out there, right? So people can see who the prick we are, right? So,
Yeah.
guys, so with that, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you like us, comment, like, subscribe. If you don't like us, also comment, like, and subscribe. We'd love to hear why you don't like us. That'd be really cool. And until then, see you guys next week. This is the Success Blueprint. Aloha, guys.